What's up, everyone, and happy Steak Saturday. This is the first episode of a weekly vlog where I talk about finances, personal investing, and what's going on in my life, different things that I'm working on. Uh, First thing I want to talk about was property investing. I was recently talking with a buddy that wanted to rent out his own house that he was living in. And he thought that the only thing he needed to consider was the price of his mortgage versus the price of the rent that the other person was paying. But he was so wrong. One thing that I learned in property investing that gets crazy is that there are so many other costs beyond just the new mortgage that you're taking on. For example, there's the principal and then the interest, but then there's also taxes, there's also insurance, there's also an HOA fee if it has one, there's repairs, there's vacancy costs, there is a capital expenditures, which is big ticket items like a new driveway. All these things can add in to cost of owning real estate. So a lot of times when people think that they're going to be the next Donald Trump, the next real estate mogul, there's a lot more things to learn as you go through it. Also this week at work, I've been trying to maximize my retirement spending. So one thing I just recently did is I maxed out all of my 401k contributions at work. And I know it probably is so easy when you make a ton of money, but that's not the truth. I don't make a ton of money. It has been a slow process of being able to max that out. What I initially did is I was putting 6% into my 401k, which is my company match rate. And then each new paycheck, I upped that amount a little bit to 7 to 8% to 9% to 10%. And so you don't really feel it because it comes so gradually. So I've recently reached the maxing rate on my 401k. But really, part of the only reason that I'm able to do that is because both Alyssa and us have jobs. We are what are referred to as dinks, dual income, no kids. And so we're able to save a little bit more in the process. So I've been maxing that out to try to save as much money as I can for retirement. If any of you are familiar with Nashville, you know that the property market is crazy right now. Properties are only on the market for 2, 3 days if they really are good deals. So one thing that I've actually started doing is I've been looking at some properties in Memphis, Tennessee, which is a stronger rental market, meaning that there is a much larger pool of renters as opposed to Nashville where everybody wants to buy property, homeowners, and they want to live in it. So I actually just started looking around at properties in Memphis over the next little bit. And so far, the book of the week that I've been reading a lot this week, just because I am looking at new properties out of my city, the one that I recommend is published by Bigger Pockets, which is a real estate investing community. And it's called The Long Distance Real Estate Investing Guide: How to Buy, Rehab, and Manage Out-of-State Rental Properties by David Green. Pretty good book. I really liked it. It talks a lot about all the process that you need to go through, even rehabbing, working with contractors, everything from out of state. And you also know that I love podcasts, and I listen to podcasts all the time, mostly on my way to and from work. I even listen to them at 2 times speed so I can listen to more. The podcast of the week that I'm really loving right now is called How I Built This with Guy Raz. It's an NPR podcast. And all he does is interview entrepreneurs who have built, huge companies, innovators. So the episode that I was listening to this last week that I really liked was with Laura American. She's the founder of Larabar, and a super interesting backstory about how she started a company while she was working part-time at Whole Foods. Super interesting story that I recommend to everybody to listen to. Well, that's it for this week. I'll be back again next week to talk about personal finance, other investing projects that I'm working on. And so I look forward to being back with you. See you guys.